Hello everyone, welcome to QNAP Live Broadcast. I'm Sam, your host for today's topic, and today we're going to talk about our Qsync. Talking about Qsync, maybe you will think of like I can sync my data file from my NAS into all of my remote devices, and maybe that's all. But basically, Qsync can do more than just what I just mentioned. So today I have our PM Billy, and we will show you the things about what Qsync can do for you and some advanced functions and the features that only QNAP Qsync has, and maybe you cannot find this function in other brands. So let's get into the PowerPoint first. Okay, the title of today is the updated the updated Qsync, optimizing file sharing and data sync across devices. So basically, for this episode, we will only talk about Qsync. So first, we will tell you how Qsync can do the cross-device file share, file sync, and let's check on the agenda. Well, today we have 5 agendas. The first is the users' common issues. Maybe for all the viewers like you might think that using Qsync is just like updating some files and I can use it on the other laptop. But maybe there will be some common issues that you have. So we're going to talk about that. And the second part is that QNAP NAS specifications recommended by various type of users. Well, using NAS is a wide range of the concurrent users. Some like small enterprises, they might only have like below 50 users, and for some big enterprises, they will have like over 500 or even 1,000 of the users. So we will have different types of the NASs for your choices, and we will talk about that also. And then we will show you the scenario and the application of the Qsync, and we will show you you 2 special cases for you to understand how can Qsync to help you while working, or how can Qsync sync all your family's data file together. And then we will show you some advanced features, and the last we will talk about the Qsync Ubuntu and the iOS beta program. So first we will get into the number 1 agenda, users common issue. Like these 3 things will have like how to make work more efficient. Basically, Qsync can work on not only one person. Qsync can also work for the whole team, even the whole enterprise. So we'll check on that later. And how to choose a suitable NAS. I'm pretty sure that you will see that in the next slide. So combine the first and the second issue. We will let you know how can Qsync help us. So the first, we will show you a case study from Malaysia. That is that is a school with 500 people. And then the reason is that they were using a very complicated way that the teachers, when the teachers want to score the students like homework, the teachers need to go to each student's computer and laptop in class and do the revising and do the scoring thing, which is so complicated. So when our Malaysian branch, the sales, he just approached to that Malaysian school, and then their IT guy pop out a question that, can you help us to find a solution that maybe we can have all the students just put their homework into one place, and the teachers can do everything within their own computer, and at the moment they can also do some interactive with the students. Maybe can upload a new version, maybe can do some revision to the students. And here is our successful story. So Billy, please tell them about the whole case.
I had a question from our branch in Malaysia, and then sales a customer asked me because we have 500 secondary school students. They want to submit homework by Microsoft Word or Microsoft PowerPoint then on their own computers. Then teacher also can grade or put some assessment on their homework. Then, but the traditional way, teacher if they want to put some assessment students' homework, they will side by side, then go to the students' position, then check check students' computer. But that way is not very easy. So because maybe there is a 50 student in the school, so maybe in a class, so maybe the teacher may be very busy. So teacher also want to put assessment and a grade homework on teachers' own computers. But the IT manager in school, he must encounter some issue because let's based on public cloud space, then let's based on cloud space, then maybe like Google or Dropbox. But the issue is maybe they have 500 users. So for the medium version, the cost solution maybe one user for months, maybe $10. So 500 users, so maybe $5,000.
Yes.
This is cost a lot. So IT manager concerned about the large scale system construction cost a lot. So QNAP, our QNAP, we provide a solution like online experience function and Qsync. So the customer or user can try the function, try the Qsync function, then meet their purpose and usage, so they can know how to create a share folder, or like how to create a team folder, then do their purpose. Then student can submit the homework on their own computers. Then teachers can also grade homework on their own computers. So, but the IT manager or the buyer maybe encounter some issue because when they have a lot of users, maybe they concerned about the NAS. So how to deal with the large number user, and how to choose suitable NAS is the important thing. Yeah.
Okay, so let's check on the second case study. Well, this is another company in India, and well, for this enterprise, he has over 1,500 users. And based on our experience, the concurrent user will be pretty much at around 30%, so we count it as 500. So at this moment, when the condition goes to like each moment there will be 500 of the users using the Qsync function to upload and download data file in the Qsync folders. They will need a high end of the hardware specification and a wide enough bandwidth to support this function, which means that when all the 500 concurrent users are using the same share folder, there will be no latency, right? So what can we do? We just provide them this TTS16489U, which is our Racket type in the picture that you can see. And it is using a quad-core Intel CPU, and it supports 64 gigabytes of the RAM. And we can also use our SSD and as our QTR cache. So this action will higher the efficiency of the data file read and write inside of the hard disk by using QTF. And also for the network, we also choose to use port trunking, and we combine 4 of the internet port behind the NAS, and we combine 4 of them, right? Because each of the port can support 10 gigabit. The transmission speed. So we combine 4 of them to make it as a 40 gigabit transmission speed. The port.
It's best for choose suitable NAS. This is a very important thing we all know. But we also consider about the RAM, how much RAM, how much gigabyte RAM.
Mhm.
Then also consider about the SSD. We suggest customer use enterprise SSD. Now you can use the SSD rewrite cache and the Qtier, our Qtier function. Then you can put the hard data in SSD. Then you
Yes.
can put the cold data in the hardware
Yes.
hard
Hard disk.
drive, hard disk. Yeah.
Mhm.
And the another important things is network bandwidth. So we must consider about if this model, then there are four ports, 10 gigabyte Ethernet. Then we will use the port trunking function and up to the 40 gigabyte bandwidth. They can maybe avoid the internet congestion and the latency.
Okay. So it's 40 gigabit or gigabyte?
Gigabyte. Yeah.
Gigabyte.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. And then here's a chart to all the viewers that you can see the numbers of the users and the processor, the RAM, if it supports SSD cache, and if it supports the network bandwidth for port trunking, and the bandwidth of each of the internet port. So from home user to large enterprise user, we will recommend you to choose the processor from the processor and the network bandwidth. So if you have, make sure that what kind of hardware you will choose, and I think you can get to know more of the NAS specifications by all the hardware level you need, right?
Yeah.
And then here is another thing that we just talked about, the port trunking. So while building your own internet system, is there anything that we need to be more careful?
We must consider about your switch because if our NAS can with the port trunking and the support to and up to the 40 gigabit internet bandwidth, then we also consider about the switch because you must choose the switch with the network management function. Then you can setting the port trunking, and you choose the NAS also support the port trunking function. So the NAS bandwidth is very important for the enterprise customer because there are a lot of users access into the NAS. So maybe you encounter the internet congestion or latency, and so maybe you may make sure your bandwidth is suitable your large number of users.
Okay, and here's the next thing. We have a comparison for QNAP and Synology. So here we can see that there are two things that we think that is more important for the users because the left-hand side is the topic. So from share team folder to the last one, the mobile client, we can see that on the second part and the third part, the central management and erase devices remotely. Here are the two things that we need to especially emphasize on that. For the central management part, for QNAP user, you can choose to use user customization mode or the central control. For the users that choosing the central control, that means that you only need to do the settings on your Qsync Central, and then you can just sync all the settings into all the other devices. Or you can choose to use user customization mode, which means that each of the computers they can set their own they can set their own configuration. Yeah, so it will not be sync or affected by any changes that has been done on the central NAS. And then for the erase device remotely, here's another function that, okay, what if my computer I have synced to my NAS and one day I go out for business trip and I lost my laptop or it has been stolen?
Yeah.
At this situation, I will also be concerned of I might lose all the important and confidential data of my company. So for this situation, the Qsync Central it can choose to erase all the sync data inside of that losing computer.
Yeah.
No matter it's by the IP or the serial number or any of the
maybe
part.
confidential data.
Yeah. So the Qsync will recognize that computer and give it a comment that remove every of the data file.
Yeah.
And when the computer is on and get any of the Wi-Fi or internet environment, it will automatically do this, right?
Yeah.
So for these two functions, it's not what Synology doesn't support for now.
Yeah.
So for the other part, I think we are doing as good as each other. Yeah. So after all of this, the usage part and the comparison part, the hardware part, and the feature part. And here we have three scenarios to show you. So the first one we will show you as a home user. So what kind of home users they will use our Qsync, like a group of family and they want to share the pictures and the videos or any other things that that is only for this family, so they can create their own folders and we can just put any of the files into that folder and everyone will get that. So let's check on this demo. Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can see we access our NAS. Then you can go to the Qsync folder. Then you can
Sorry.
move.
Okay. Sorry, we'll go back to the line first, and we will do some revise to our cell phone and change it back to the English version. So let's go to the PowerPoint. Okay, so here is the first of the demo. So we will do it later. So we just go directly into the demo. Into the second scenario is for the enterprises. Well, for enterprises, basically, in the previous way, like for me, I was also a sales. So every week we need to turn in our sales report, and at this moment I will use email and send my report in Excel file or just directly email to my boss. And sorry. Sorry, we had a little situation right here, but now it's gonna be fine. So when we are turning in our report, sometimes I use my laptop, and when I send that mail out, I close my laptop, and I thought I had successfully sent that mail out already, but that is not true because I turned my laptop off. So basically, the mail is still in my computer mailbox. It's not getting there, my boss email box. So basically, this is not a good way. Or sometimes sometimes when we are going to work with like other partners, other downstreaming customers or upstreaming customers, when we are doing like orders, like sending back and forth, or we are just making some simple, we are just checking some simple thing, but we use like Skype or we use email or any other thing that is not that kind of efficient because that is not an on-time thing. We have to send mail and maybe we will wait for the other person to see that mail and check for the file. So I don't think that is good. So what can QNAP NAS, what can Qsync do for you? Like how can we make the teamwork and how can we make the partners to work between partners to partner better? That is what we will also demo to you later. So are we okay now? Okay, so let's go back to the demo.
We demo the
first one.
The first one that you can choose go to the Qsync folder. Then you can go there, and you can add folders. You can
Sorry. We need to. Okay.
You can create the folders. Then you can check the day, then the position. Okay.
We already have that folder.
Yeah. Okay. Another folder. Okay. We have a folder called 2018 and today's date. Then go to here. Then you can upload the folder like this one. You can choose the folder, then upload. Okay, okay, go back to check. Okay, you have these three folders, maybe the children or a lot of folder. You also can share your friends or relatives. We go to online and we check. We choose social friend, then go and send the chat. Yeah. So your friend can receive your photos, and it's very easy to use. Yeah.
So basically, when you upload all the files in the Qsync folder, the picture are saved in the NAS.
Yeah.
So everyone has the authority to go to check for that folders.
Yeah.
They can all see that picture and they can all do the sharing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this is the first of our demo. So how about the next of the demo? The enterprise issue, right?
Yeah. Okay.
This is the.
This is the we just log in the NAS BD2. Then we use the username is both. So both maybe your supervisor. You want to check which one which one submit the report, weekly report or not. So you can go there. You can go there and check the NAS. Then you can create a folder. We call it 1 to 3. Okay. Okay. This folder we must here to share this folder as the team folder. Okay. So you can choose another username. Okay, like sales 2. Right. So we go back to login the NAS. Then we use the sales username is sales.
Okay.
Okay, wait, login. Okay, you choose the which folder you can pay. Okay, finish. So your boss share the team folder for you. So you can go there, sharing center, then check the share with me. I'll share with 1, 2, 3 this folder. So we set. Close. So you can check this. We have 1, 2, 3 this folder. So you want to submit your weekly report, your lyrics. Maybe our report, okay, James report, okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Mhm.
you can then we go back to both NAS,
Okay.
both username. Okay, we can check.
For this doing, we are just changing the account name. So we are basically logging into the same NAS, but with different of the authority and the account. So you can see previously we were logged in with the sales account, and now we are now logging in with the boss account.
Yeah.
So basically, they can see different of the files inside of their Qsync folder.
So you can check the both share folder. Then you can check which sales submit the weekly report or not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, check. Oh, yeah, you can check. Billy submit,
Okay, it's
and
all
Jeff
right here.
also submit. Yeah, yeah,
Sure.
it's very easy to use, so you can make work efficient. Yeah.
Okay, so that will be all of our demo, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to our slides. And here are all of the demos that we're showing today. And now we are talking about some Qsync advanced features because that is just a common usage that we will use. So here are the special part of the central configuration because we will talk about that our Qsync can use the user customization mode or the central mode, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for here, on the central mode, we can choose to sync. We can have 4 topics. The first is the sync settings. By different of the authority and the users, you can have the different account and the usernames.
Yes.
We can set the different settings to what it can sync and it cannot sync.
Yes.
And the conflict policy. The conflict means, okay, if we are running an enterprise, maybe we will have, a coincidence. Billy and I, we both created a file called maybe Sunday, yeah, and we want to upload this file into the NAS. But when NAS receive 2 of the files, both named Sunday, what can it do? So the conflict policy can make can do the configure. So the NAS will choose to use use the first name as the main of the name of the data, or use the second file as the main data that is called Sunday. Or maybe you can do the changes like rename or delete or something. That is all. I remember that we have 4 or 5 options in the conflict policy, so you can choose by yourself. And the filter settings. What is the filter settings?
Because maybe IT manager don't want to other colleagues upload a large file like then AVI file or then MPG files. So maybe you feel setting the filter so you cannot just use company's NAS to like your own NAS. Yeah. Then also the conflict policy. So IT manager can setting the all conflict policy. Then all user can under the central control and so you can meet the policy. Yeah.
Okay, I see. And here we can do the mail settings.
Setting.
And the next is a safer way to protect your data. Like we have 3 ways. The first is smart delete. The second is version control, and the third is the remote erase. The remote erase is what we just mentioned, that you can remote all the sync data in the loosened remote devices. So for the smart delete, is at okay, if my computer sync to my NAS and we are doing the syncing.
Yeah.
So if I delete the same data file inside of my computer, I can choose to keep the file in my NAS or not. So this is the smart delete. So no matter how, even I delete the important data file in my computer, but my NAS will still keep the original data file for me. That is one function. called smart delete.
Yeah, we call it smart delete in the client side. So if you use our Qsync client like Windows or Mac, you can check this option or uncheck. If you check this option, you can keep your confidential file, because maybe you have some trouble, you delete the company confidential file or maybe sensitive file, but if you sync with NAS, then maybe if we don't have this function, it maybe delete NAS also. So maybe you check this smart delete function. So maybe we can keep your copy on the NAS side.
Okay, and the second part is the version control. Like for Excel file, like we will have several versions for one topic. That is a very common thing. So, if both of the if we have three person and we are all using the same folder and we are all revising the same Excel file. So if I am having the latest version, but Billy is using the older version, and if I update the latest version, but Billy needs some information from the older version, he can take back the version from the NAS and do the recovery and get what he needs, and then maybe put it back to the newer version. So that is what we call the version control, because that is how we can combine everything that we need into a new Excel file. And then here is another thing is the teamwork about performance improvement, that we can create team folder on their own. In our previous demonstration, you see that for the boss and for sales account, they are all not both of them are not the administrator account. So which means even you are not using the admin account, you can also create your own share folder to your team or to other people, right?
Yeah, because we have a lot of situation like we want to make a teamwork, so make teamwork efficiently. Maybe you upload some regulation to your customer or your boss. Then you want to think, and you can make some modify. Yeah, so we can create a team folder on their own. Not we can don't close to the IT manager. So does not require IT manager and to create a team folder. You use on own account. So create a team folder. Then you can make your work efficiently.
Okay. And here are the several pages that we want to show you when you are using the Qsync client. And we will all have small icon on the right bottom side of your control bar. And when you open that, when you click on the control bar, you can see a small icon of our Qsync. And then right here, you can see the reason sync or the sync files, which means that you can get to know what kind of files that you have just changed and what are synchronizing right now. Yeah, and you can see a small icon at the left button side as a circle. When you click at that button, you can see the main page. The squared part is one of our features that our customers likes a lot, because you can see the storage capacity in your NAS, and you can see how many percentage that has been used and how many more percentage and the capacity is still free. So you can check for all the information right here. And that is all only for the Qsync part, no matter it's the smart delete or the control version or the share folder part. So if we're not talking about Qsync, because Qsync is one of the software in our QNAP NAS, well, let's now talk about the whole NAS. By using the Qsync, you can still have the four of the protection from QNAP NAS. The first one is the RAID, because you know that by the different quantity of your hard disk, you can choose to have different kinds of RAID from RAID 0 to RAID even 60. And then we have snapshot. The snapshot, we have different, of course, we have different specifications. Some type can support 16 snapshot and some can support over 1,000 of the snapshots. So I think it's very easy to protect your important data file. And then we have Q-tier and SSD that we can give you a higher efficient while you are processing the huge data file when you are doing the read and write. And the fourth one, we have the hybrid backup sync. You can back up all your data file, not only in your local NAS, but you can use our RTRR function or other function to back up all your data file into another NAS, or maybe you can upload all your file into a third-party public cloud like OneDrive or Google Drive, something like that. So here's another page that we will show you how to back up your Qsync data. When you install our hybrid backup sync, you just turn it up and you can see that we have three options in the middle. The first one is you can back up into the local. And the second one, you can remote backup by the QNAP Cloud ID, QNAP Cloud DDNS or the IP address directly. And then you can also do the cloud backup, which is like the third-party public cloud, right? And at the left-hand side, you can see we can assign a specific share folder. Not share folder. We can assign a specific folder to back up all your data file.
Yes.
Right. Anything that you want to?
Because this part is very important, I think, because maybe your NAS maybe encounter some bad situation like fire, maybe something like that. So we have the hybrid backup sync. They provide maybe local backup and the remote backup and cloud backup. So you can double click our hybrid backup sync and they can create the backup job, and you find the folder called .homes. Because our Qsync data all storage the .homes, so you can create a backup job. So you can backup to another NAS or backup to the cloud.
Okay, so that is all about our Qsync, and here is another thing that we just that is some kind of an extra information that we are having the Qsync Ubuntu and the iOS beta program on Q3, right? I think in Q3, so which means July to September. I think the estimated time we will have the Qsync Ubuntu version and iOS version, and for the LANsync version.
LANsync function.
And since that will be three of them will be beta program or only iOS?
No, we have Qsync with Linux-based Ubuntu platform. So we also provide the beta program like iOS platform. The LANsync is the function. So we want to if your NAS is not cross internet, but your device like a two PC in the same internet situation. So you can use a LANsync to the two PC can sync the file. Maybe the file is you want. So we want to create a beta program. Then welcome to yours and join our beta program. Then give me some feedback to us. Then we can create some feature you want. Then in the future, then maybe in the new version you can
see.
You can see.
So since it's our beta program, welcome to tell us your feedback of our three new coming up Qsync file. Okay. So that is all that we want to provide you for our Qsync from QNAP. So let's go back to the live. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
So if you like our video, please you can go to you can subscribe our channel, and we will keep bringing you more and more video for new hardware, new software, and unboxing and our NAS video. And this is all for QNAP Qsync topic for today. We will see you next time on QNAP live broadcast. Bye bye.
See you.